RV&FJ plus reviews.
I'm gonna do a short trip-ish. I gotta go from Massachusetts to Iowa to pick it up. But I'm gonna go to Bundutek in Iowa to pick that up and then come back. So it'll probably be about 5 days. 2 days there, a day to get it put on, and then 2 days back again. So right now I'm on my way, and I've got my cooler filled with sodas to keep me awake and waters to keep me hydrated, and my wife made me some chicken that I can have for lunch later. GPS, it's an off-road GPS, so it's a lot more complex. Got to get used to it. So a nice trip. I ought to be nice and used to it by the time it's done. It'll eventually go where the radio goes. I've ordered some parts to try to get it adapted to where the radio goes and remove the radio. It does offer an optional amplifier to connect to it, and then you can use your phone through the GPS and through the amplifier and through the speakers. I also got new speakers for it as well, but didn't have time to put it in before I left for the trip. I'm going to try and stop at Canobyl's as a place to stop. I should get there around, it says 3:15. I'm sure I'll make a few stops, have to get gas, have to get some food, use the bathroom. Say 4 o'clock, maybe 4:30, and spend an hour or two there, and then find a place to sleep on my way to Iowa. We're finally at Canobyl's, about 4:45. Ta-da! Canobyl's! What do you think, a little busy? And this might not be a good idea. Well, of course, as soon as I pulled in, it starts raining. It said 21% chance of rain, and then suddenly it jumped up to 75%. It's going to be that way for the rest of the night. Well, just my luck. Well, at least I can add it to my GPS, and the next time I'm around, I can swing on in. So I stopped at an A&W. I haven't been to one in, I don't know, decades. Thought I'd give it a try since they don't have them in Massachusetts anymore. This is what I got from A&W. Something called a Papa Burger and some onion rings. I'm gonna go ahead and give this a try. They said that it would take 10 minutes to make, because everything was going to be fresh. Well, it took 15. See how good it is. It's fair, nothing special. Let's try one of these onion rings that I'm sure will be disappointing. Alright, so both of them, nothing to write home about. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this and get back on the road. I finished the burger, and I finished the onion rings. The onion rings have got to be the worst onion rings I've ever had in my life. The burger was like middle of the road, nothing. It wasn't even cheese. It was some kind of cheese sauce. I can see why there's no more A&Ws where we live, and now I wish I hadn't found this one. God, I hope I don't have a stomachache later. Well, took a sleep, slept almost 10 hours. Put me a little bit behind on driving, so time to hit the road. So we're just passing into Ohio. And that burger from A&W wreaked havoc on me. I did not get a good night's sleep because of it, but it wasn't horrible, but had to use the men's room quite a bit. But so today, instead, I'm just going to have one of these Better than those protein bars that they sell at the gas stations that are just gussied up candy bars. So I've stopped just inside of Ohio at a TA truck stop so that I can take a shower and feel human again.
So if you've ever wondered what a truck stop shower is like, this is it. They're mostly fairly clean. Some are modern. This one is like middle of the road. Shower, toilet, sink, fan. You can see it does a halfway decent job. Original Jimmy's Red Hots. What a great place. It's in Chicago. It's the closest one of my favorites to the highway because I can get off the highway, grab a dog, and take off. What a treat. One more sleep before Bundutek. Right now I'm going to stop at a truck stop, but not just any truck stop. The average truck stop is 75 acres. This is 220 acres. Unfortunately, I always get here when it's nighttime and I can't visit the museum that they have here, Museum of Trucking. I've got to get here one day and see that. But let me give you a quick tour of the inside of this crazy truck stop. On the second floor of Iowa 80 is the truckers section, known as the truckers loft. It has a 1919 Olds truck, a barbershop, a gym, a laundromat, the driver's den, a library, a chiropractor, the interstate dental, and the truckers chapel. And as always, the showers, which I used. The best trucker shower I've ever had. I'm sure there may be somebody else that has one that can match this or maybe surpass it, but this one seems to be the best. And finally, I've reached my destination in Raymond, Iowa. Bundutech, USA. My Bundutop rooftop tent has come all the way from Fairleads, Benoni, South Africa. What a trip. The installation took a couple 3 hours, but it wasn't that bad. I watched. They were amazing. They went nice and slow. They made sure everything fit correctly. The only big problem they had was when attaching it to the roof rack, they couldn't get to the front bolts. So they had to remove my fairing. They had to reach in underneath the roof rack to make the final connection. But man, did it come out great. Even down, it looks fantastic. Up looks way better, but I'll tell you, down looks pretty good too. Can't wait to get on a trip and take this out somewhere and have some fun in it. This thing's really starting to come along. I'm not going to bore you with the long drive home, but I did make a couple of really cool stops. One was at Freddys Steak Burger. Check this out. Yeah, I've never heard of this place before. It was great. Got a burger, I got the onion rings, I got these really thin shoestring fries. They were great. I also got some dipping sauces, I got a lemonade, and I got a great strawberry shake. Everything was really, really good. I wish we had one of these at home, but then I'd be even bigger than I am now. Now going in the opposite direction, I pass by Iowa 80 again. See you guys. I'll swing back again another time. Then I stopped by Antique Archaeology in LeClaire, Iowa, home of the History Channel show American Pickers with hosts Mike Wolf, Frank Fritz, Danielle Colby, and Robbie Wolf. This place was very interesting, way smaller than I thought it would be, but there was a ton of stuff packed into such a tiny space. There was 2 buildings, this one and then the next one that I'll show you, both packed to the gills, but so much smaller than it looked on the TV show. Very interesting. Very pricey, but then again, antiques always are. The new rooftop tent is incredibly comfortable. Stop at any rest area and you have your own hotel. And here's what everything looks like deployed. The Bundutop rooftop tent, the Bundu On 360-degree awning, the Bundu Suite En-Suite, the Bundu Annex En-Suite roof. Man, this thing is amazing.